recent study shows washing down 75 chicken wings with 9 pints of Guinness might make you sleepy. A recent study shows covering yourself with invisible tape will not make you invisible. And a recent study shows women who use vibrators would reach orgasm quicker if they don't know I'm hiding in the closet. That's an ongoing study, by the way. Still collecting data. 2 daughters, 7 and 4. That's how they are. When they were born, they looked exactly like me. As they get older, they're growing out of that, and we couldn't be happier. You know, I'm not looking forward to when my girls start to date, but I don't want them to grow up look like linebackers either. You know what I mean? Because it would be a little tough to meet a guy if you're the female version of me. You know, in a club, like, hey, what's your name? Anna! Jesus, jeez. You're beefy. I like when you see yourself in your kids. That's the coolest thing about being a parent, is kids pick up little physical mannerisms from their parents, and they do stuff exactly like you do. Like the weirdest thing, like they'll sneeze or something, you know, like you see them, or scratch their head, and they'll do it, and you're like, oh my God. Both my kids eat like me. They're like little machines, man. You put a plate in front of my oldest, all you see is elbows and ketchup flying for 15 minutes. And she'll eat everything except for meat. She won't touch it. Beef, chicken, pork, none of it. And my wife says, well, maybe she's going to be a vegetarian. To which I always respond, shut up. I mean, look at me. I'm from the Midwest. You know what I'm saying? If I don't have beef every 3 hours, I go into a seizure. That's all I'm saying. I don't want to hear my daughter tell me she's a vegetarian. I don't want to hear. I'd rather she told me she was a lesbian. I can live with that. Okay, how tough is that conversation if you think about it, too? It's like, Mom, Dad, I'd like you to meet Shannon. I'd be like, thank God. How do you girls want your steaks? Eat it up, Butchie. A recent study shows women who sunbathe topless make great neighbors. A recent study shows kicking your friend's ass in Madden on PS3 does not look good on a resume. A recent study shows mixing vodka, Viagra, and Vicodin rocks. My dad was a truck driver for Jewel Foods, company man. 15 straight years, he won an award for being the best driver they had. Never had an accident, never had a ticket, not a blemish on his record. 15 years, their best driver. The kicker, my dad, drunk every day of his life. Never sober, not even a little. He was like a morning till night guy, you know what I'm talking about? He used to get up an hour before he got up to get drunk so he'd be drunk when he got up. He won an award every year, 15 plaques they stacked up to here. He used to keep his bourbon on him. He drank early times, half pints, because my mom would let him drink in the house, so he had to sneak him in and hide him. And if he snuck in half pints, you can sneak in that many more and hide him in that many more places. So he would put like 4 in each sock, a bunch in his pockets, you know, and if it was cold like now, he had long johns on, fucking A, bottles up and down his body, completely covered. Everywhere he walked, he sounded like a milkman, like ding, 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 ding. And then he would hide them, and he always knew where, because he'd go into a room and come out sounding a little less jingly. You know what I mean? Like, I gotta go to the bathroom. And he'd come out like ding, 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 ding. What? Ding, ding. And this is back in the 70s when the way you dealt with alcoholism was you just pretended it wasn't there. You made excuses, that was my gig. I could cover anything my dad did like that. I don't care what it was. He'd come home from work all drunk and he'd pass out. And I'd be like, he's tired. Look at him there sleeping in the driveway. Look at him. Let's go to bed. Don't step on Daddy. Come on. Or he'd pick us up from school and drive into a field. I'd be like, hey, a shortcut. Ha ha. Who wants corn? Fling. Hi, Mr. Jones. You're right, Daddy. Shouldn't be in the field, stupid farmer. I had an excuse like that every single time. And so one time, my dad got up in the middle of the night and just pissed on the kitchen wall. He just walked out, moved the chair, like he was at a bar. My brothers all look at me, and I was like, ah. I got nothing, guys. Okay. He's painting on the wall. That's messed up. Let's go to bed. Don't step in the pee. Let's go this way. A recent study shows, despite its appearance, grape jelly does not make a good lubricant. That's my favorite one right there. God, I love that one. A recent study shows women who enjoy performing oral sex are way better at it than women who do not enjoy performing it, oral sex. In all the years my wife and I have been together, we have fights, we have disagreements, we have our ups and downs. It's not a perfect relationship. None is. It takes a little work, a little arguing. But in all that time, I never once thought about leaving my wife or divorcing her or killing her. Thought about poking her with a stick once, though. We were at the zoo, and we're standing by the gorilla cage, just kind of hanging out. We're having a bad fight where there's a lot of yelling and none of it's me. You know what I mean? And she's going, and it's so like a husband. I've been taking it for an hour. At this point, all I hear is words, noise, 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 words, verbs, and nouns, verbs, and nouns. And I'm standing there taking it like a good husband. Just take that verbal beating you take, where you're just. And drool's coming out of your mouth. You're not saying a word. It's so bad. Other guys won't make eye contact with me as they walk by. They look at you, dude, whatever you did, I don't want to know. And I'm standing there trying to zone her out, and I'm staring in a gorilla cage, looking at a gorilla who, ironically, is getting yelled at by another gorilla. And he looks at me as if to go, God, I know. And this goes on for 15 minutes where I'm getting the blah, blah, blah words, blah, 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 and he's getting blah, 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 blah. Suddenly, the male gorilla grabs a stick and whacks the female in the head. Whack! And she runs up. Now, she's still pissed off, but she leaves him alone. And I thought about it. Oh, because I'm still getting it, man. She's coming to me full bore. Your spits hit me in the side of the face now. There's no one there but me and her and the gorilla. And she is yelling, and she's yelling, and yelling, and yelling. And suddenly, the gorilla throws me the stick. But I walked away. I was the better primate. And as I left, I heard that gorilla go, "You pussy." Good night, guys. Thank you very much. Thanks.